Cheers, little fella. I feel like a new man.
So do I. Conker, honey. Fancy going for a bang?
Yep, that's me. You're probably wondering how I ended up in this situation.
Today, we're diving into one of the most infamous games on the Nintendo 64, Conkers Bad Fur Day. This game was the 17th last title released for the system before the GameCube took over, and it stands out as one of the most unique experiences on the console. One of the funniest things about Conkers Bad Fur Day is actually its M rating. The Nintendo 64 wasn't exactly known for mature games, and this was one of the only 28 titles of the system to get that classification. Despite that, it seems like a lot of parents either ignored or didn't pay attention to the rating because so many kids, myself included, ended up playing it. I mean, just look at the cover. You see a cute squirrel in a blue hoodie and you'd assume, it's just another colorful platformer for kids, right? This game is also one of the reasons I wanted to make this channel, sharing different pieces of media. This game is the reason I watched different movies or shows or looked into something because it's just a smorgasbord of references and pop culture from its time, and even before, it opened up a whole world of influences for me. And the ending bit, which I won't spoil just yet, but if you've played the game, you know it embodies the message that I've always been trying to show here. With that, all out of the way, let us begin. Besides Conker's drunken quest to get home, there's a bizarre secondary plot featuring the fabled Panther King, whose biggest problem, he keeps spilling his milk because his table is missing a leg. Naturally, he orders his professor to fix it, and the solution? A red squirrel. Dude, what the f-
What?
Oh no. It's gonna be one of those days.
Unscripted Minerva here. This game is considered to be a bad hair day, which is why it's called a bad fur day. A day where everything that could possibly go wrong goes wrong. I'm doing something really different. I'm going to assume that it is truly all in one day. So the game kicks off at the Hangover chapter, and since each day seems to start at midnight, at least that's what we've all been told, let's just assume that right now this game starts at 5 a.m., and this is how Conker starts his day, just completely wrecked. You meet Birdie, a drunken scarecrow who introduces you to context-sensitive pads, one of the game's core mechanics. Whenever you see a B platform or a light bulb over Conker's head, pressing the B button makes him do whatever is conveniently needed at the time. From here, you also learn how to hover, smack things with a frying pan, and get a feel for Conker's basic movement. It's a tutorial, but it sets the tone, wacky, crude, it's all about breaking the fourth wall. Then, after finally stumbling out of Hangover, we jump into the best chapter in the game, Windy. Oh my god, this music right here, pure nostalgia, just named Windy. It's not just for me, but there's so many players that love this song. Windy is actually a leitmotif, meaning the theme changes depending on the area you're in. I understand it's not exactly what a leitmotif is, but it's here in the context right now. Conker even whistles it if you leave him idle for a bit. And speaking of idle animation, Conker has tons of them. He drinks soda or a milkshake, he plays on a Game Boy, and you can hear Killer Instinct playing in the background with Jago yelling his head off. He juggles and he even yo-yos. It's little details like this that just show how much love was poured into the game. Drink a soda one place and throw it. If it falls into the water, it splashes. If it falls to the ground, it breaks. Anyway, Windy acts as the hub world connecting all other areas you'll explore. At this point, there's not much to do besides helping a queen bee get her hive back and having another context-sensitive moment with Birdie, where the game takes a jab at another co-worker's obsession with Pepsi Max.
Cost ya.
Oh, how much?
Got any Pepsi Pucks?
What?
Don't matter.
Dumb kid me thought that this was some weird drug I hadn't heard about. You can also climb the windmill, get ambushed by an earthworm, and meet Mr. Barrel, who offers you a ride only if you have enough cash, which, of course, we don't. Eventually, you reach a crossroads, one path smelling a bit pooey and the other leading into a hollow log. Conker, being the reasonable squirrel he is, chooses the log. And welcome to Barn Boys. Assuming it took Conker about an hour to get through Windy, let's just say that this chapter takes place between 7 and goes on to 9:30 a.m. Barn Boys is a great chapter. It's easily the one I played the most as a kid. The first character you help is a toggy metal crate named Jack.
I say, little fella, you better get this fat-ass bitch off of my back, pronto.
Jack's got a problem, you see. Queso here needs to be dealt with, and the solution? Fatten him up until he explodes.
Oh!
Uh-oh.
Oh no! I think I had too much!
Afterwards, Jack hints that there's something real neat inside the barn, so naturally, we're gonna go check it out. Inside, we meet Frankie, Ron, and Reg, a pitchfork, a paint can, and a paintbrush, respectfully. And, well, they have some thoughts about Conker.
Is it his turn?
Yeah, I say it was his turn. Yeah, Frankie, go and kick his ass. Go on, kick his ass.
I ain't kicking it, but it's always my turn to kick their asses.
Frank, just get over there and kick his ass, Frank, for sake.
Yeah, go over there, kick his ass. Somebody's gotta kick his ass. It ain't gonna be me. I'm a brush. Now you don't kick ass.
But I'm a paint pot anyway. I'm a paint pot. Go kick his ass.
Okay, I'll kick his ass. I'm not going over there. He can come over here.
So, of course, we have no other option but to...
What the damn diddly squat are you doing in my barn?
Well, I never. It's a talking pitchfork.
Not from around here, are you, boy?
No, I'm from the 21st century.
I don't rightly recollect liking your type. Therefore, I conclude that I was gonna kick your butt all around this barn like there's no tomorrow. I was gonna stick my big fork right in yours.
Were your parents related, like before they were married?
Right, that's it. I was gonna give you a whooping. Here we go.
One of the best things of Conker truly is its boss fights. These aren't your typical beat-em-up encounters. They're all super unique, and each one is pretty fresh. At their core, they're basically puzzles, where you have to figure out the right strategy to take down your opponent. There are quite a few of these scattered throughout the game, and they never feel repetitive. After the boss fight, things take an interesting turn.
I've seen some kicking ass in my time, and that is the crappiest kick ass I've ever seen.
Yeah, it's pretty crap. As kicking ass goes, it was abysmal, and you is a bastard, stupid bastard. Isn't he? Yeah.
Yeah, he sure is. So, what are you gonna do now? Kill yourself? Because that's what I recommend.
Yeah, you should kill yourself. In fact, we got a rope right here. Haven't we got a rope?
Yeah, we got a rope. There you go.
What kind of friends are you? In that case, I is gonna kill myself. I'm gonna kill myself right now. That's all there is to it. You.
What are you doing?
You stupid bastard. He hasn't even got a neck.
Yeah, look at you up there hanging there. You stupid bastard. Ain't got a neck, are you? He ain't got a neck, has he?
I already said that. Shut up.
Leaving the barn, you can try to help the king bee, but honestly, it's best to just leave him for now and keep focusing on the barn section. Here, you need to help Frankie get back down, so you can use him to take on the massive haystack blocking your path.
This is gonna hurt.
And this leads into another boss fight, this time featuring some tasteful Terminator references.
I like it, cut G.
And then, we hit what 7-year-old me considered the most stressful moment in his entire gaming career. The water level starts rising and there are live electrical wires hanging down. And if you don't get to safety in time, or like me, forget that some of them exist, you die extremely fast. This is actually where I took my first death in the game. Cue a quick cutscene introducing the world's smallest Grim Reaper, and then it's back to business as usual. And from here, the rest of Barn Boys is pretty straightforward. Slam dunk into a basket, help the king bee hook up with a exceptionally well-endowed sunflower.
Hey, yo, what the fuck?
And of course, I can't believe I'm saying this, boob platforming? Alright, the next area is a real weird one, and I believe it takes place between 10 a.m. and 12 p.m. Welcome to Sloprano and Bat's Tower. Instead of heading straight into Barn Boys, you could take the original path leading to Pooh Mountain. And, yes, it's exactly what it sounds like. Conker, being the responsible squirrel he is, throws on a gas mask before heading in. Interestingly, you actually move a bit slower here, probably because you are trudging through literal shit. Here you're introduced to a group of mostly friendly dung beetles.
On your break. You still here? Oh, charming.
One of them convinces you to help make a bunch of cows crap so that they can roll up a big ball of poo for Conker, and Conker understandably tries to refuse, but they talk right over him.
If you want some poo, alright, get your ass in there.
So, what's on the agenda? Fighting a bull that absolutely hates the color red? Check. Serving posh cows some prune juice? Yeah, that sounds about right.
It's like the screaming shit it is,
And, ramming the bull into the cows? Jesus Christ, what does this even accomplish? After all that, you finally learn to swim without water wings. Honestly, I kinda wish Conker wasn't swimming in literal poo water. Like, septic tank man. Please, for the love of God, don't look that up. From here, you're gifted with reusable balls of poo. Roll one up the hill packed with dynamite to obliterate a giant dung beetle. Roll another through the mountain to clear the path forward. But before stepping into one of the best moments in gaming history, there's one thing we need, which is more money. I haven't really talked about it yet, but throughout the game you'll come across cash. Whenever Conker finds some, he gets this amazing animation where his eyes turn into dollar signs and the money itself actually talks, usually giving him a bit of sass before jumping into his collection. These cash pickups serve as progress checkpoints, making sure you have enough funds to do things like Mr. Barrel and other key moments. Anyway, back to the task at hand. Grab another ball of poo, toss it off the ledge. Hit a plunger, drown some poor unfortunate souls.
Hello, how are you? I am under the water. Please help.
And finally, welcome to a section I personally believe most people hate. Me too. Bat's Tower, and it's a weird place. Bat's Tower starts off with a long riverway where you're approached by the most noble of catfish, asking for your help.
Woohoo! Squirrel person, are you begging for food?
At the end of the riverway, a bull shark. The catfish want their fortune back, but with that thing lurking around, they can't get to it. So, being the helpful and slightly greedy squirrel you are, you agree to take care of it. This leads into a semi-horror inspired section where you have to swim down into this murky depths, and down there you meet, oh boy, Carl and Quentin.
Why is it everybody's so offensive around here? Hang on a second.
Well, hello there. Ta-ta, ta-ta. You twat! Don't ever do that again! Now f*** off!
And, surprise, surprise, Bat's Tower is full of bats. You climb up and unlock the second section to the tower, and agree to help the cogs, and then get another, and another, and another. Oh, and in true Conkers Bad Fur Day fashion, there are 2 back-to-back sexual innuendos jokes with the cogs.
Hey, oh, hold the hell. Come on, put it on, quick. Put it on, I like it like that. Oh, fan-f***ing-tastic. Oh, no, not Mr. Big Cog. That's me, buggered. I'm out of here. Yes. I don't know what his problem is. I find it rather delicious.
Hey, yo! With all of their help, you can finally use the cogs to pull in the dogfish. And now that the big guy is reeled in, the lower section of the tower is open. And I swear, if someone told me this next part, I wouldn't believe them. You meet fire imps.
Hey, give me some of that. You bastard. Give me another time.
Get drunk. And piss on them to put them out. They hate that so much they jump into a giant boiler. But it's not just any boiler. This one has a full-blown personality and, big brass balls. What the fuck am I even playing right now? Eventually, you slap those things straight off his body and grab your hard-earned cash. Then you meet up with Mrs. Catfish and find out, after all that work, to get this money, it's $10. Once again, this next part, I wouldn't believe it even if I told myself, so I'm gonna just let this play out and let you just kind of take it all in. Finally, the music cuts back to that nice, nostalgic Windy theme. And hey, at least you get some extra money for your trouble. But don't get too comfortable, because guess what? We're heading right back into the shit. Literally. It's time to finally finish off the chapter before, Sloprano. You meet with another dung beetle, except this one's trapped inside. He and his buddies have been being accosted by something crawling out of the shite. Oh boy, here we go. Ladies and gentlemen, I present you the next musical production, standing tall alongside Hamilton and Wicked, The Great Mighty Pooh. An opera-singing, sentient pile of fecal matter, and honestly, I have no words. Just listen to how incredible he is.
Me, 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 me. I am the great mighty Pooh, and I'm going to throw my shit at you. A huge supply of tish comes from my chocolate starfish. How about some scat, you little twat?
Fun fact, the Great Mighty Pooh's voice was actually provided by Chris Marlowe, making him the only male character in the game not to be voiced by Chris Savor. But anyway, once you've recovered from the sheer spectacle of all of it, you wait for him to sing again and of course start tossing toilet paper directly into his mouth. Until finally, this happens.
Now I'm really getting rather mad. You're like a niggly, tickly, shitty little tag nut. When I've knocked you out with all my bab, I'm going to take your head and ram it up my butt.
Your butt.
My butt.
Your butt.
That's right, my butt.
Ugh.
My butt. My butt.
He shatters a glass wall, revealing a plunger, and you know exactly what comes next. You flush him straight down the drain, which he makes a fantastic Wicked Witch of the West reference on his way out. Oh, scene's absolutely iconic. From 1 p.m. to 4 p.m. we enter... You know what? I don't know if I'm actually allowed to say this. I mean, don't get me wrong. Like I'm a person of color voicing a white World of Warcraft avatar, but you know what? If it's bad enough, I'll let the YouTube ninjas figure this one out. Welcome to Uga Buga. And frankly, I'm shocked it's not called Uga Buga, but whatever. And right off the bat, we're coming up to another iconic scene. You gotta swim through some pipes, which of course have these Rareware fans just waiting to slice you in half like this is Final Destination. Then you meet up with some weasels, just a reminder that there's a whole side plot about acquiring a red squirrel. And if you don't have enough money early on, there's actually a scene where they basically tell you to kick rocks. But regardless, once you've convinced them that you're an elephant, and not a squirrel...
An elephant. You stupid...
You climb the monument surrounded by a T-Rex, and then press B to send the idol crashing into the base. Okay, so a lot of this part is really weird, so just try to keep up. First things first, push a boulder down a hill and crush some cavemen, and by the way, if anyone knows what sounds they're making, I'd love to get my hands on a couple of these sound effects. If Chris Savor made these noises with his face, this dude is a legend. Then you're suddenly face to face with a giant serpent statue and a puzzle on the wall that we'll come back to later. For now, we head to another area where there's a giant dinosaur egg, and naturally, Conker just sits on it, which causes it to hatch into... Listen, I know what's coming, but I gotta say, look, this little guy is adorable. Look, he's in a tiny little diaper. And since Conker was the first thing he saw when he hatched, he imprints on him like a baby duck and starts following him around. Oh, and his first act as a newborn, crush a monk, and then... Oh my god, he just devours like every caveman in sight. Like, dude, holy shit, the sound design in this section is brutal. The screams, the crunching, so visceral. But you want to know what's even more brutal? What you have to do next. Yes, after satisfying the entity serpent, gross, you're able to travel inside him. Gross. Anyway, get through and you find a dead caveman, which you snag his attire and get a new look. And Conker is now the god of the cave people. They worship you, which is a nice change of pace, and the music even changes. Anyway, take the cave people back up to the starting area and you'll fight some rock dudes. Then you're ready to speak the password to the club owner, and you get this little joke.
Password? Guys, do you know what the password is? Felicia. Felicia. No. Felicia. Fidelio?
Huh? How do you know that?
And now we're heading into Rock Solid. And what is Rock Solid? Probably the best section in this entire game. I truly have no words to describe, so I'm going to do a little montage, and if this doesn't make you want to play the game, I don't know what will. Listen, you can throw on the track Rock Solid at a club today, and even someone like me who I hate going out, I would be compelled to turn up. It's just that good. Also, this is a technical achievement. I'm pretty sure they used an actual MP3 on the Nintendo 64, which is mind-blowing, considering the hardware limitations, but Rareware was really pushing the system to its limits. I'm pretty sure they still had to, like, compress it a bit, but you can hear the fully uncompressed version on YouTube, and it is amazing. Anyway, the actual game plan is where more weirdness just kicks in. get drunk and suddenly you have to piss on other patrons and push them through different sections of the club. Because lo and behold, Barry is here after being captured. I didn't mention this earlier, but she gets captured during the B plot, so trust me, you'll see it if you play the game. Of course, when you break Barry out, she doesn't recognize Conker because of the caveman hat. Classic. Anyway, you stole some money from the club and you get caught by the bouncer as you're trying to leave. It's at this point you're finally introduced to another character, Don Weezo, and he's going to be very important for the rest of the story. Don Weezo is a great character. The whole setup is a very brilliant reference to Don Vito Corleone from The Godfather, and he's talking about handling business and people disrespecting him, and they executes one of the weasels in a direct nod to the scene from The Untouchables. Listen, if you're a fan of mob movies, this is just a masterstroke of satire.
One of you guys has shown no respect. Who it is, I don't know. Could have been Frankie. Could have been Chicho. Could have been Polly. You don't you ever do that again to me!
Anyway, back to Conker's dilemma. This whole moment right here makes him realize he doesn't want to get his head crushed in like Glenn from The Walking Dead. Maggie, I'll find you. So, the Don asks you to do a little job. A bomb run. And the bomb run is pretty stressful. You have to backtrack all the way through Uga Buga again, and they give you a very, very limited amount of time, and you only really have the music to let you know if you're doing good or not, or if you're making it on time. Anyway, toss the bomb into where you found the dinosaur baby, and the lava starts to rise, killing off a huge chunk of the cavemen in the process. This is where Uga Buga is coming close to its end. The first thing that ends up happening is you get mugged by a bunch of cavemen.
Oh,
Hey, you. You're finally awake.
And have to race them on a hoverboard to get all your money back. After which you crash your hoverboard into what looks to be a coliseum, and you can tell, just from the arena, that a boss fight is coming up. Here is the entrance to Fangy the T-Rex. I'll just let this scene play out.
Oh, this doesn't sound good.
Anyway, you use a B context press to mind control the T-Rex, and you actually get to control Fangy, and Fangy controls pretty well, actually. Of course, this all leads up to fighting a giant caveman named Bugga the Nut, a subtle reference to Jabba the Hutt. Anyway, there's a lot of big bone jokes here that definitely slipped over my head when I was a kid. But listen, Bugga, I understand. Minerva, my avatar here, I look like a Ken doll under all of this. Anyway, hit him in the balls a few times, bite big chunks out of his cheek meat, and eventually there won't be enough to hold up his loincloth anymore, and his little secret is revealed. Conker then goes through 2 breakups, one with Fangy and one with Jugga, the cave woman, which I think is kind of funny. He's trying to hit on another girl, even though he's already in a relationship, but hey, I guess you miss every shot you don't take, right? Anyway, this is the end of the Uga Buga chapter, and finally we're moving on to not a good one. Alright, so we're heading back to Windy, and, okay, some of the flaws in this game are gonna start to show here a little bit. First off, do another hive retrieval, and there's a turret section. The concept is neat, but controlling the turret just feels clunky, and it just doesn't feel right. The aiming and feels stiff. It's one of those sections that feels like it's testing your patience more than providing fun. Cool in theory, but honestly, I wouldn't mind if it never showed up in the game again. This is totes not foreshadowing for later, I promise. Once you get past the turret section and getting the hive back, you're rich enough to finally talk to Mr. Barrel, and the payoff is a pretty big moment as Conker crashes down through the windmill walkway, eventually falling off. Mr. Barrel crashes into the wall, and this could have been on that stupid video site on those epic fail compilations back in the early internet days. After all this chaos, Conker's knocked out for quite a while actually, and we finally enter Spooky. And let's assume that this starts around 5 and he passes out until about 8. So it's about 8 p.m. when this chapter starts because it's very dark outside. Okay, I'm on the 6th chapter on my script. I'm going to go off script for a moment here and just say my piece. The chapter's Spooky. Blows ass. It's not fun. There's a lot of ideas that are very cool. The location is awesome. The references to Dracula are pretty dope. But the main gimmick is they give you a shotgun to hunt the undead. And besides Rare's other games like, I don't know, GoldenEye, Perfect Dark, or Jet Force Gemini, the aiming is very questionable. Very questionable. It's not good. Matter of fact, I'll be blunt. It sucks shit. It's like the only good reason to play the remake on the Xbox, other than its awesome multiplayer, is that the aiming is just better. Anyway, you make it to your ancestor's house and this scene plays out.
Can we just go back a bit there? The drinking my blood bit? What's all that about?
I said, come here.
And he turns you into a bat. This section right here is actually awesome. I think the bat scene is the best. Ignore my horrible gameplay. I just haven't played it in a while. It's super fun. The music's really great. And it's over very fast. But I think that's the problem, is that it's over very fast. And you're back to, oh my god, the shitty shotgun section again. I looked into it and I never got any confirmations, but you're in a giant mansion with zombies. Is this a fucking Resident Evil reference? Like, I can't find confirmations anywhere that this is the case. But the first Resident Evil came out way before this, and it had even shittier controls than this game, and the aiming still feels wrong, and it feels like I'd rather be playing Resident Evil. And it doesn't help that if you get too close to the zombies, these fuckers sprint at you at speeds like Alex Jones. Oh my god. Finally, the main gimmick of this area is there's 3 keys that you have to retrieve, but you have to do it in the order that the game wants you to. And if you don't, oh boy, well, the bats will attack you endlessly, or if you fuck up and die, and you were already had 1 or 2 of the keys, well, guess what? You have to go back and get all 3 of the keys again. There's no checkpoints. You have to do it all in one sitting. So if you died, too bad. Back to the beginning, loser. Fuck you. This is the first bad section of the game, but thankfully it's very short. I think it took me an hour to beat. It consists of literally 2 areas, lake and mansion. And anyway, you get on Mr. Barrel, go down the way you came up, go up a stream, and oh wow, look, actually, we're back at the beginning of the game. I actually think this is really cool. There's the gargoyle we hit, and he's down here. That's pretty neat. And we can get back to Windy through here. I think this part is honestly pretty cool. Well, get ready, because it's time for war. Look, this is another one. Okay, war probably takes place between 9 p.m. and 11 p.m., so it's crazy for a war to last, 2 to 3 hours? First off, war is the longest chapter with 13 sections you have to go through. Just in the very first area, you have to knock on a door, get a soldier out of the toilets, push him down the hill, watch him die. Push a crate in front of the area where he falls. Get another one. Push him down the hill. Take him to 2 different sides of a plane that fell earlier in the chapter. Swim underwater and get chased by an electric eel to swim through hoops to charge the context-sensitive pad. Shoot ball sections, all while avoiding spider mines and sentient ammo crates. What the fuck? Look, just to get knocked out and be forced to join the army. And honestly, pretty dope clip.
Okay, 30 seconds. Nice knowing you guys.
Look, after this awesome Saving Private Ryan cutscene, you actually run up the beach and meet someone you met at the bar.
Hey! Where's the rest of them? This is it. I think, yeah, I'm the only one. It's not enough. It's not enough. What's going on here? Teddies everywhere. This is the last assault. It's not looking good. Teddies. I hate these guys. Get your head down! This is crazy! Yeah, we've been locked down here for the last 10 hours! Murder holes up there! Machine gun nests! Gotta clear them out, boys! What was that you say? Yeah, I gotta do it. But I'm not equipped properly.
So remember what I was saying about the aiming controls not being so great? Would you be excited to hear that this is a whole section dedicated to shooting? Because I'm about to fucking crash out!
Oh my fucking god, I hate you!
Look, basically everyone I know attempts to run through this area just because of how lackluster the gunplay is. Call of Duty 4, this is not. There are sections of loud music to impose fake jump scares, which will get you the first time but immediately piss you off when 3 teddies back-to-back chain lock you like you're a holy priest against 3 rogues in WoW. And oh boy, is this another turret section? Joy. But there is a tank section and it controls good, but again, aim just as poor as... Oh my god, just... Here you go, you're welcome. Look, I get... This area is pretty interesting, like, locale-wise, but I can't say I enjoy it personally. Matter of fact, it was my least favorite chapter to play as a child, and it's still my least favorite now. Like, it even beats out Spooky. Like, anyway, you meet up with a teammate named Rodent, which I've noticed a lot of the fan base really dislikes, and I don't understand. I don't mind Rodent, he's got a grainy voice, but it's... Who doesn't in this game? And anyway, this leads to Totes Not a Boss area, and you're tasked to help this little girl. However, she's clearly letting on more than she knows, and now you have to shoot submarines in the water with a rocket launcher. Look, I have no words. Just look at the gameplay and you'll understand. Anyway, it all pays off in the end with an incredible reference and boss design. However, the boss fight itself is just a little too easy, and maybe that's just because I've played the game a bit too much. Anyway, look, finally, there's a good section of this stressful chapter, an escape scene, where you have to run and escape the island blowing up, and let me tell you, this part's fun. It tests all of your skills that you've been building up all this time, and you get to see how good you are at all the platforming. And you even get a great ending cutscene to boot.
Yeah. Was a terrible thing, you know.
You're right there. All these fine young men sent off to do the dying. Those bigwigs, those pen pushers, those guys who never ever see a single bullet whiz past their heads.
I've given the last 2 sections a lot of flack, and it might seem like I dislike this game for how much shit I'm giving it now, but I promise you it makes up for it in the final chapter. Oh my god. As you re-enter Windy for the last time, you'll stop and think, I've been to every section of the map, there's nowhere to go. The game then does a slow reveal as you walk around and give you context clues to where to look next. You round the corner and see a section of the windmill has fallen off and, oh Jesus, it killed Mrs. B. Once you see this, you move closer to the spiral and notice there's even more pieces of the windmill that are all over the place. You ascend and finally get this scene.
Oh no! Where did the windmill go? And I was sure that was the final level. Oh well, obviously not. Oh, Roden! Roden! Hey, it's good to see you, man. What happened? Oh, that's all, but you know what? I reckon that suit really worked. I was flying through the air. Next thing is there. I saw this thing coming towards me. Kind of like a windmill. Doesn't seem to be there anymore.
From here, you can enter the windmill, and it takes you to the Federal Reserve Bank. There's a scene early on that you can get in Sloprano. I'll show here.
Get the impression somebody doesn't want me to be here. Oh. Uh-oh. I think it's about to... Oh. Heck. Doesn't look like I'm going that way just yet.
But now you're on the other side where this happens.
Whoa. I thought I told you to leave town. But seeing as you're here, anyways, me have a little job for you.
Oh, not another one. Look, can I just go home, please?
I said, we may have a little job. Take it or leave it.
Okay, I'll take it.
Like, these pants are so uncomfortable. Oh, fancy meeting you here.
Oh, Barry. You look great.
Really?
I thought you said you didn't know this guy.
Oh yeah, I know him. He's like my boyfriend.
Yeah, that's right. I'm her boyfriend.
Am I interrupting something here? When you two little lovebirds are finished with your reunion tete-a-tete shit, maybe we can get on with the job at hand, please?
I'm sorry, is this a Matrix reference?
Please place any metallic objects in the tray.
Holy fuck, it's a Matrix reference! Listen, I can't believe it, but for the first time in this game, there's a good shooting section. You do this, like, slow down bullet time thing, and you get to shoot all these people up in this awesome little moment. Look, seriously, check the gameplay. I'm literally having the time of my life. If all of the other shooting parts were just as good as this, there would have been no problems in this game. Then, the last few cutscenes play out, and Conker gets $1 million.
Oh, cool. Millionaire!
And you finally come face to face with the Fairy Panther King.
Who are you calling a fairy?
That's right, we finally get to face off with the king.
Step aside, Conker. I know how to deal with men like this.
Such loyalty. Misplaced. Get rid of her. Easiest thing in the world. Sorry, dollface. Business is business. Adios.
What the? Hey, mind where you... Barry? Hey, Barry.
God damn it, first Miss B and now it's Barry? Oh no, it's on now, motherfucker.
Boss, you feeling alright?
Oh no, we're not fighting the king, we're fighting an alien reference? I guess little me should have known better than to expect anything normal from this game. Anyway, you get to Mario 64, the alien out of the airlock, do it 3 times, and you watch the long ending cutscene where the game locks up and Conker gets to talk to a programmer, where he gets some assistance to help finish off good old Heinrich for good.
1, and action.
There's a part of me that doesn't know how to end this video. This game is special to a lot of people, and over the years I've been seeing a lot of other people checking it out. There's other better videos to show it off and talk about it, that talk about like a secondary game or the remake or whatever the hell that Project Spark thing was, but I don't believe we will ever see a second game. This was lightning in a bottle. Even the creators went on to mention that they would never add things like the sunflower or other parts, that they've grown as people, and even then I can't imagine half of this shit flying in this day and age. We'd have, I don't know, sunflower titty crypto meme coins, or unlock the word shit for a $5 microtransaction. Fucking rodent NFTs. I made this channel to celebrate all forms of media, and at the moment I've been mostly focused on video games because I believe they are art, and I will be branching out to other things, and I'm sad we won't ever see a secondary installment to this, but I believe Conker says it best. It's half the reason I wanted to make a video about it in the first place. The ending line embodies this channel, my way of thinking, and the state of Conker's mind, and this game.
It's true what they say. The grass is always greener. And you don't really know what it is you have until it's gone. Gone. Gone.
Thanks for watching.